In 1986, a diver saw a drowned staircase 25 meters down. 80 feet beneath Japan, dark terraces sank into silence. This is the Yonaguni Monument, a city that drowned. It rises 50 meters long and 25 meters tall, a gray block the size of a tower that sank whole. Its edges are too sharp, its dark corners too clean. These 90-degree angles have been argued over 40 years. If people carved it, our whole story is wrong. The man who saw it first was Kihachiro Aratake. He froze when a flat gray wall rose from the dark. No reef builds a face that square, he saw at once. He surfaced shaking and told the island what he saw. Within months, Kihachiro Aratake had led others down. The island sits at Japan's far western edge, near Taiwan. Cold gray currents tear past it from the dark Pacific. Below the surf, the structure waits in cold silence. Locals long called these waters Iseki Point, the ruins. Old legends told of a palace that drowned below. Fishermen avoided the spot where boats were lost. The main terrace drops in 5 clean steps, like seating. Each step stands almost 2 meters, the height of a man. A bare gray plaza, 100 feet wide, lies lost below. No rubble lies in the dark where rocks should have fallen. Whole blocks vanished as if cleared away by hand. 2 tall pillars stand close, cut from one gray mass. A channel runs 30 meters dead straight through the rock. Some see a road curving around the dark western base. Others point to a worn shape they call the turtle, and to a gray face of someone long dead, staring up. Round post holes, 10 of them, pit the upper terrace. A sharp overhang juts out, casting a dark square shadow. A notch like a doorway breaks one gray wall. 2 trenches run parallel, the width of a cart. Lines this straight rarely form by blind accident. But here is where the geologists fight back hard. This is sandstone, and sandstone cracks in straight lines. Bedding planes break flat, making steps with no carver. They say sea and quakes alone shaped every dark edge. Japan sits on faults that shudder all year round. Tremors snap slabs apart, and whole faces collapse. No tools, no writing, no clear ruins were ever found. Marine geologists call the 5 steps a sandstone pattern. They photographed the same steps on dry coasts nearby. Waves and tides, they argue, did all the dark cutting. So far, the place has surrendered no real proof. Yet one cold fact unsettles even the skeptics. This ridge sat in open air 10,000 years ago. Back then, the cold sea sat far, far lower. The ocean stood about 120 meters below today's surface, so the entire staircase once stood under open gray sky. People could have climbed all 5 steps under a cold sun. If they carved it, they did it then, on dry land, before writing, before the wheel, before the first cities. That would predate the pyramids by 5,000 years. A shaped Yonaguni would be the oldest thing humans built. It would mean cities rose, then drowned, then died. And that history began 5,000 years too early. Every textbook would be torn open and rewritten. Then the Ice Age ended, and the cold sea rose. Meltwater climbed 120 meters and never stopped. The water drowned the coast, meter by meter. Beaches vanished, valleys flooded, the 5 steps sank. Whoever lived there fled inland or drowned trying. Their boats sank, and their homes were lost to the deep. Within 3 generations, the dark place left all memory. Children who climbed the steps grew old far inland. Their grandchildren never knew the drowned land existed. The story died with the last person who climbed it. The dark sea closed over the top and kept the secret. This was far from the only coast the sea drowned. Rising water erased millions of square miles of land. People always settle the coast, and the coast vanished. So most of our early story lies lost below the waves. Every drowned shore could hide another lost ruin. Off India, divers found ruined walls lost in 2001. Off Greece, a whole town drowned under shallow waves. The pattern repeats on every continent's drowned edge, and almost none of it has ever been searched. But now, the dark place defends itself with violence. The current here can hit 6 knots in seconds. It rips masks loose and shoves bodies off the wall. Divers have died exploring this exact dark spot. The cold deep here does not forgive one mistake. Storms above turn the gray surface into chaos. Typhoons close the site for 4 months every year. Visibility can drop to nothing in a single dark breath. A wrong turn means a diver never finds the surface. So the place guards its answer behind killing water. Each visitor gambles their life for one closer look. Sonar has mapped all 50 meters in sharp detail. The scans show 5 steps too regular to dismiss. One geologist dove it 100 times, certain it is built. He saw grooves, channels, and a lined rectangular pool. Other scientists dove the same site and saw only nature. Same rock, same 25-meter depth. 2 opposite verdicts. The truth sits 80 feet down, refusing to settle. 40 years on, no one can prove who is right. Submersibles have circled it, cameras rolling for hours. One survey vessel was lost to a storm out here. Each expedition burns a fortune and returns more doubt. The deeper they look, the stranger the gray rock seems. Today, coral and fish have claimed the cold steps. Hammerheads circle the edge where divers vanished. Sea snakes thread the 30-meter channel in the rock. Pale anemones now blur the once sharp gray corners. The living sea is slowly erasing the dark evidence. Every storm scrubs another clue off the gray surface. Manta rays glide silently over the broad, bare plaza. A turtle rests in the dark shadow of the Great Wall. Silver schools of jacks pour through the channels. Time is quietly winning the argument we cannot finish. So picture the choice this dark place forces on you. Either the cold sea cut these 5 steps by accident, or human hands shaped them and the builders drowned. Either way, a whole world was lost to the deep. Nature carving a staircase, or a drowned, lost city. One of those impossible things is simply true. That is why divers risk the current that killed others. They run their hands along edges no one can explain. They sift the dark silt for one tool, one mark. So far, the site gives them only more dark questions. Some never surface, lost to the cold, dark current. Some swear they saw tool marks on the 5 steps. Others saw only the smooth grain of broken sandstone. One edge feels carved, the next feels natural. The dark place keeps pulling people back to the deep. Maybe a forgotten people built it, and the sea drowned them. Maybe their lost world hides 100 more ruins like it. Maybe the cold ocean tricked us with cracked gray rock. Either way, 80 feet of cold, dark water keeps it sealed, and the rising sea will never give it back. So a drowned staircase still waits 80 feet beneath Japan. Built or broken, it sank 10,000 years ago. This dark staircase shouldn't be underwater, and yet it is.